Week 3 is upon us with Michigan State being 2-0, headed up against 2-0 Youngstown State right before Big Ten play gets started after a big win in double overtime over Boston College. How are you feeling about this game, Liam? Are you excited? It's a 3:30 game, so no more night games. I don't know what your opinion on night games is. If we asked Chris Solari, he would absolutely love this 3:30 game.
No, I honestly don't get too excited for a game like this. It's just I don't know. It's just hard. There's no real win for State. I mean, you go out and you win by 40, cool, that's what you're supposed to do. And you go out and you don't look good and the sky is falling. So no, I'm excited once the game time comes around to see how the guys do, but let's put it this way, it was a lot more fun talking about Boston College and it'll be a lot more fun next week talking about USC.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's one of those things where it's almost like you have to like preview it, but then you go into it and you're like, who's like the key players? Who's the guys that are really sticking out? And this Youngstown State obviously is 2-0 on the year. Last game that they played wasn't really a close game. The first game against, I believe, Mercyhurst, it was a pretty close game, but obviously it's an FCS opponent. I know that FCS opponents, besides last year, at least had an upset over an FBS opponent. They didn't have it last year. Hopefully, they don't have it this year. But it's a team that truly is around two guys or two positions, in my opinion. You have an offensive line that is pretty good if you look at like the PFF score overall. I think they might be actually better than Western offensive line, at least overall. No shot at Western, but I think this Youngstown State does have a pretty decent offensive line, and that's truly around Bo Brumgard. And he's not your typical quarterback at all, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, he's got almost double the rushing yards as he does passing yards, and that you don't ever really see that, honestly. So, and I mean, I maybe they've got some crazy O linemen that the Chargers were checking out. I don't know. Supposedly the Chargers were on campus yesterday. I don't know if you saw that,
I
but
did see that.
it's a little funny to me. I don't know, um, but yeah, it'll be interesting to see what Youngstown comes into Spartan Stadium and tries to do.
Yeah, no, and they obviously, like I said, they have Bo. They have a guy in Jaden Gilbert, which has the second most rushing yards on this team, but he has only 82 yards on the year.
Yeah,
Like, it
it's all
truly
through.
is Bo. Like, that's it
Yeah,
for this offense, which is insane because you have other guys that, like Max Tomzak and Jaden Gilbert, they're two leading pass catchers. They both had 7 catches in the last game. Max had a little over like 110 yards on the season. So obviously they have guys, but it truly
yeah.
seems like it's going to be trying to stop Bo and see what this Michigan State defense can do. I think that's really the biggest question of this team is, can they stop Bo and can they get pressure on the quarterback position?
Yeah, no, you want to see the pressure as last week it kind of reverted to 2024. Didn't see a ton. But the thing with Brungard is you're going to have the concern of if you get out of your rush lane or if you're so focused on coming off the end and pursuing that he's just going to tuck it down and run it and he's going to gash you because he averages over 10 yards a carry, which is crazy. I don't know how many times he's been sacked, but that comes out of your rushing yards as a college QB. So if he's been sacked more than 3 times, he's got some crazy yards per carry average going right now.
Yeah. And I think this is one of those games that you might want to keep an eye on, like a Jordan Hall type
Yeah.
spy, or I know that Darius Snow played quite a bit, or you also have a couple other
Wade
guys,
Matthews.
and Brady Pretzloff, I know, is
Yeah.
going to be someone that has been playing more and more and more. And he's someone that I truly want to see play a lot in this game, not only because I think there's a lot of hype and I think he has a ton of potential, and I think we've already seen some of that potential, but you really want to make this game about your young guys. Try to get them in the game as much as possible. And having him play quite a bit, hopefully staying healthy as well, I think that is a really key thing. And one big discussion about this team that we had last week was Nakai Martinez. Would you play Nakai in this game? at all if he was 100% healthy or ready to go?
If he was 100% healthy, I'd play him on the first couple like literally the first drive or two for Youngstown, just get his feet wet back into game scenarios, and then you pull him and you put him in bubble wrap until USC.
Yeah. No, that's the way I would do it. I truly think you need to get his feet wet a little bit, kind of
Yeah, you
get
don't
that
want him
game
going
action.
into that attack in Southern Cal, and you don't want to make his first drive be all that with their explosiveness, their explosive pass game and stuff. But yeah, you can't risk him re-aggravating anything.
Yeah, and like I was saying, I think you need to have an idea of what you want to do. Keep the guys in that are like 100% healthy. I think you're
Yep,
going to have some guys that maybe aren't exactly there that you might want to sit out a little bit, or
yep,
maybe like play them a little bit until like it's finally kind of out of range from Youngstown State to even come back.
yeah. No, you in no football game ever are you really gonna come in and just try to play depth guys right away. I mean, the coaches will give their run. The coaches will give the starters some run, but I mean, if you're up 21 zip second quarter, right, we're good. Like,
Yeah, should be.
yeah, like I'm just saying with the guys. I mean, maybe that's a little short. Maybe you want one more score in there, but from a fan perspective, it's just like football. There's so much that can go physically wrong every game, that every play, that it's too big of a risk if the game's out of hand at all to be playing guys.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And it's one of those games that I want to see Michigan State kind of go more towards like not rotating as many offensive linemen. I know that Jonathan Smith did talk about the importance of getting these guys reps, but you also need to prepare for Big Ten play because against
Yep.
USC, if you're rotating offensive linemen and there's one guy not playing very well, then it kind of messes up everything. Like you need to get your offensive alignment right. I truly think that's number one. And number two, this is a defense for Youngstown State that hasn't played an offense like this Michigan State team. They're going to face. They've only given up 16 points a game. Now they have forced 3 fumbles, 2 interceptions on the year, but Aiden Childs has been good at protecting the ball, and they don't have one, in my opinion, standout defensive player, at least when it comes to statistic wise for like most tackles. It's pretty balanced at the top. I truly think it's going to be about trying to get these guys right and trying to prepare for USC without overlooking Youngstown State because you don't want to get in a position where it gets a little bit uncomfortable in the second half because we've seen MSU get in that position against teams that they should be able to beat quite a bit.
Yeah, no, I mean, the second you overlook them and it gets a little dicey at all, the whole concept of giving some guys some rest and keeping them healthy goes out the win. I mean, it's counterintuitive at that point. So yeah, you want to play the guys as little as you can while keeping the game in the balance the whole time. Like that's ideal, obviously. That if it works out like that, that's best case scenario. But it's just, yeah, it's too dangerous of a game and too brutal of a conference slate to take any risks.
Yeah. So before we get into our predictions here shortly, what's a couple players in this game that you're kind of keeping an eye out for if the game goes the way it should go? Like we're talking like young players, guys that you want to see a little bit more that maybe we haven't seen this year.
I don't know, honestly. I think you just I, I want to see the O line hold up as a whole, no matter who they're playing. I mean, I think Smith said that they're trying to. You're only going to get to play 60 or more snaps if you're playing well all week through practice and stuff like that. And so you're probably not even going to get any guys 60 snaps in a game like this. But you want to see the guys. I want to see who's getting the higher snap counts because it's obviously going to be Golden. But like, how's Ramil going to bounce back and guys like that? And then I guess I want to see if, being a ex D2 guy myself, I want to see if Rodney Bullard can come in and make any plays once guys like Marsh or Kelly are maybe out of the game or just in different packages. But he got talked up a lot in camp, and I kind of want to see what he can do.
Yeah, love the Valdosta State poll. They're
Yep.
great program in D2,
Yeah.
won
Made the
national
natty.
championships. Yeah,
Yeah. Made it last year.
yeah, against Ferris, which then Ferris
Yeah.
handled
Yeah.
business like they do every year for the
Yeah.
most part.
Ferris pretty good at football.
Yeah, just a little good. But what's your prediction in this game? Obviously, there's a ton of confidence there. Is it truly going to be that blowout game we saw back? I think 2013 was the last time these two teams. No, not
21.
2021 was the last time both of these
Yeah.
teams have played, and obviously, I think it was 42-14 at that point.
Yeah. I got a little fun fact for us. I think I saw State's played Youngstown State 3 times in its history. Michigan State is 3-0. And in all 3 of those seasons, the Spartans went on to win 11 games 2021, 2013, and 2011. And this goes without saying, but they went in one of those 11 wins in all 3 of those years was the team down the road coming up in October. So historically, Youngstown State's been a good omen for MSU. I think, I don't know. I, I think State's offense can cook. I think they might outdo 42 from 4 years ago. We'll go like 49-10.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like it. I will go a little bit more conservative
Yeah.
with this one.
I don't
Turns out
blame
I'm
you.
the more conservative one when it comes to score prediction. So
Yeah.
if it doesn't reach your level, then it's a little bit closer. But I think MSU does put up more points than they do last week. I think it's going to be a little bit more. I think it's going to probably be like 45, like some play 45, um, like 47, someplace around there. And then I think Youngstown probably gets like 13, 17 points. So I think they score a little bit more. We'll just see what this defense can do, and we'll see if Bo can get any help. But I don't think it's going to be a close game. It's just one of those things of how many points is MSU going to win by, and hopefully it's going to be comfortably going into USC, and hopefully 3-0 at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. No, hopefully 3-0 and going to the West Coast 11 p.m. game, by the way. I don't know if you've talked about that on your show
I
yet,
have
but
not, surprisingly.
11 p.m. game, kind of crazy. I saw a tweet the other day. It was like Michigan State fans when the fourth quarter is starting at 1:12 Eastern. And I was like, 1:12 Eastern is a complete low ball. Like the
Yeah.
fourth quarter might not start till 2
Yeah.
the way some of these games go. So yeah, that'll be fun in a couple weeks. But actually, before we get off this, before we end this episode, another little date back to my D2 days. We had a kid come in last year from Youngstown, a cornerback. His name was Jordan Trowers at Saginaw, and he was on Youngstown back in 2021. And so I asked him about coming to Spartan Stadium to play and what it was like, and he just like his face just like lit up. He was like, "Oh, that's the loudest place we ever played," and he was telling me how they played in the Horseshoe too.
Okay.
And that he was saying Spartan Stadium was way louder than the Horseshoe, and that when they got off the bus, they couldn't believe the atmosphere in East Lansing. So that's kind of cool. I just remembered that. So shout out Jordan. That dude was cool.
Yeah, no, absolutely love hearing that. And then obviously next week we will be previewing USC. We'll do the recap versus USC, maybe a 2:30 a.m. recap, not promising
Yeah,
anything.
maybe 6 a.m.
Yeah, maybe 6 a.m. depending
We
on
get
how the
another
game
2
goes.
overtime game. You never know.
I was just going to say if it's a win, maybe we'll jump on here.
Seriously.
Yeah, but no, absolutely. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into this preview. We'll give a recap after this game. Probably will be shorter than this one, hopefully. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for joining, Liam,
Yep.
and everyone.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Everyone, have a good rest of your night and enjoy the game on Saturday.
Agreed.
Go White.